Hey, it's Julie with Paradigm Interiors, and tonight I almost forgot about the video. I was just finishing dinner with my family. We're sitting there, and and I looked at the clock, and I was like, "I have video in 10 minutes," and had no makeup on, was not ready at all. But I'm here, and tonight I am talking about Simply Classic. And these styles are things that I've created these names. It's not necessarily what they are called, but it's in an attempt to help you identify the style that you like, and especially a classic style, because I really believe in creating a timeless classic look, no matter what your spin is on that. And so with Simply Classic, we're going to take a little trip over to my Pinterest board. With Simply Classic, you see a few things. There's a few things that we can, kind of see over and over again with some of these rooms. I mean, this is, really, really pretty. And you see it's a traditional look, and you see, some traditional prints and fabrics and some traditional shapes in the furniture, the lamp that looks like a turned leg, and the bedside table that has beautiful turned legs, and the upholstered headboard, and the kind of the classic art. But the thing that you see that makes it a little bit different than, your typical traditional is the shape of the bed and the headboard is a little more contemporary looking. The color palette is definitely more contemporary looking. And then here we have another, beautiful example in a bathroom where you've got, these sort of classic looking art pieces, and the marble, you've got some shiplap, to kind of give it a glance at the past, and then, the turned legs on the vanity, the, beautiful cabinet doors and everything. But there's still a little bit of something that puts that in the present and in the moment right now. And here's another example, just like this picture, and the one below it is a farmhouse style kitchen that I did. And, even farmhouse style can be part of that Simply Classic, because farmhouse is a classic look. And in this particular project, I used some classic elements to help give it that timeless appeal. The grosgrain ribbon detail on the window treatments, and the schoolhouse lights, but the classic white shaker cabinets, and that sort of soft neutral background. And you will notice in a lot of these pictures that you'll see furniture that looks antique, it looks vintage, it looks old, paired with things that look new. For example, like this room, you've got, all of this very classic looking art in the background, but then you see these really cool, more contemporary looking chairs paired with the antique looking table. So now we're going to go back to ScreenYard. I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I'm back. And so really, if you look across, especially if you look in that on my Pinterest board, the image that I have there to give you some ideas, you'll see a couple of themes. You'll see, number one, that there's always traditional furniture, traditional style furniture in this look, and almost exclusively traditional style furniture. So you'll see maybe a few pieces here and there that are a little more contemporary, that have, kind of cleaner, more rectilinear lines. But for the most part, you're going to see that traditional furniture. And then you're going to also see light neutral walls in this look. While, dark walls colorful walls are a very traditional look, and this sort of simply classic look, it's just a little bit lighter and brighter, fresher take on a traditional. And then the final thing is you're going to see, you know, contemporary color palettes and contemporary patterns. You'll still see some traditional patterns, but the color palette is always going to be a little bit more updated than something we might have seen, you know, back in the 80s or 90s, or, you know, even when that time period that the style of fabric is from. So like Jacobean prints, it won't be the same kind of colors that you would have seen during that time period. So that is what I have to tell you about Simply Classic and 3 ways that you can get the style. Next week, we'll be talking about Coastal Classic, which is probably my favorite because I am a native Floridian and I love the beach. So I like to add a little bit of coastal in all of my personal decor, not for my clients if that's not what they want. But that's what we're talking about next week. Make sure that you download a copy of the Sophisticated Living Cohesive Style Guide. It will help you understand your style, and then you will be part of our newsletter and you will get more information. I think the second email that you get will be a really deep dive into what is your style and how do you take that style and create a concept for your home so that it looks cohesive. So make sure you catch that download, and I will see you next Wednesday for Coastal Classic. Good night.